Hi, everybody.
Everybody. Welcome, welcome. Yeah.
Hi. So
Uh,
here is Allie with Heart and Soul Connected, visiting us, and I'm Terry, and holding your space. So I had to stop and think about who I was because we were having a deep conversation there.
uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. No, it's
So,
okay. Actually really love the title of your channel, Holding Your Space. It's beautiful. Very nice.
well,
Yeah.
ditto. Thank you, Allie. Ditto. I love Heart and Soul Connected because that's my favorite thing to do is to breathe in that light through my heart space.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and, hi, Deborah, nice to see you, and Annie Bear. Peaceful, easy feeling. Hi, she's at work, she says,
Oh,
so she won't be here long. And, I think I saw Kelly at Dozen Cats. Yes,
yes, Kelly's here. Yeah. Hi,
yay,
Cal. Hey,
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah.
And Deborah, I saw you got here early, bless your heart. I saw you there. I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet."
Uh-huh.
Fellow Missourian. So, yeah, and
Hello,
flowing.
Maura. Got some folks here coming in from my channel too, Maura and Scorpio Mama and MK Karen and Teresa. So
Yay.
thanks for coming and joining us today. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much. Um, so, okay, let's talk, Allie.
let's do it.
Okay, let's start with the first thing, the name, because I love that name. I just think that that holds
Thank
so
you.
much space.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had to come up with a name and it's like, it's funny when I think of something like I named my dog April Joy, of all things, but I had so many problems in April that she was my joy. So it just came like it was supposed to be, she was supposed to be my April Joy. So
Uh-huh.
same thing with heart and soul. It was like, you can put in mind, heart and soul, but I wanted to move more into the spiritual. So I wanted it to be two more spiritual ways of looking at things, not necessarily intellect. That's all.
I love that. I think that's so important too, when you're working with the heart space. So,
Uh-huh.
my heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I saw you recently doing some work with the divine feminine, and I love that. I just love that.
Thank
So,
you.
is that something that you study on a regular basis, or is that how does that come into your life?
Are you talking about the Ascended Masters? Is that what you're talking about? That
Yeah.
series? Yeah. Um, it was something that I promised my subscribers that I was going to do because I wanted to learn more about them, and I know that they probably, if they were interested, they would have a place to come. And so, yes, there's some beautiful divine feminine ascended masters and goddesses, and we've not finished. We've got quite a ways to go, but I'm just sort of parsing it out. So if you can find one that you would like to do on my channel, you're welcome to join the club. People
Oh,
just are, doing a little research on it and then presenting it. We tape it, and yeah, it makes me feel. I started out with the Buddha because I am Buddhist, but I love white and green Tara. So that came up this past week. So yeah,
yeah.
two of
I'm
my
with you.
female Buddhists. Yeah.
I love them. I love them, and Kali. Love
Yeah.
Kali too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and especially, green Tara. So I've got a picture of green Tara here in my house, and I love
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah. I've got it all. I have two statues and I have two wall hangings because one's up in my RV, but I just feel really safe with her. And she's such a compassionate spirit that it feels good to have her around.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. So Buddhism, wow, that's pretty cool. Were you
Yeah.
raised with Buddhism, or how did that come about?
No, I was raised in your normal New England Congregational Church, Christian church. I taught Sunday school and I sang in the choir and everything. But I've always been interested in learning about other religions. And so when I was in my master's degree, one of my master's degree programs in the 90s, I took a class in Hinduism and Buddhism, and I learned, we read all the major texts, And we talked about the Buddhist way of living, and it is more of a philosophy than it's not a religion per se, because they don't even have a God concept in Buddhism. And you're not supposed to worship the Buddha, just like you're really not supposed to worship Jesus. He's just, he's not the one. But it just spoke to me on so many levels. And so I try to live my life like a Buddhist. Some days are challenging, but yeah, but I really love it. Yeah, I really do.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I grew up like a Catholic, a cradle Catholic, but my mom was Jewish and she was into
Oh,
metaphysics. So it's nice to have that balance, isn't
it
it?
is. It
Yeah.
is. Did you learn all about the Kabbalah? Did she teach you about the Kabbalah?
Oh no.
Oh,
She was one, we're one of these Jewish families that were in the Holocaust. Like
oh
I remember
my.
what was her name? I can't remember if she worked for Bush or who she worked for, but she was a woman Secretary of State. And she's the one, Margaret Aldridge,
Madeline Albright? Is it
Madeline
her?
Albright. Thank you.
Okay.
How
Yeah,
did you
sure.
know that? You must be psychic.
Maybe. Because I don't have much of a memory otherwise.
But yeah, but we didn't even know we were Jewish until we were like in our teens and 20s. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that was a secret, family secret.
That's
Yeah.
and that was the times, wasn't it? I mean, isn't that the way? My mother did read Ruth Montgomery books and other books from some folks. Yeah. And I always loved that about her because, she wanted to know more, but she was a high school graduate. She didn't go to college. She didn't have a full-time job. She was just that motherly person. So
Yeah.
the fact that she loved to read and she read that kind of stuff just really impressed me, really, because she wasn't a higher education type person. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. There wasn't a lot of information back then, was there? I mean, about
Not available to us.
yeah,
No.
pardon me.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
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 My nose always runs when spirit starts coming in.
Oh, well,
So
that's awesome.
here we go.
I
Here we
mean, at
go.
least he's here, right? Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. 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 So were you seeing things as a child? Were you sensitive or were you
I had a invisible friend named Billy that was with me probably for 4 or 5 years. My parents told me. I don't remember it at all, but they tell me all the time. Watch out for Billy. Did you bring a snack for Billy? And Billy this, Billy that. And I remember also a few things that had happened in my childhood that really spoke to me. And when I was 10 years old, saw a UFO. So I have had things happen that led me to this and led me to that, and up until a later time. And yeah, so I just always have felt like there's something more than this. Always. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
And what about like your being sensitive as far as feeling other people's feelings or knowing what they're
Very definitely. Yeah. I'm an empath. I feel very deeply, and I can't really go anywhere, not because of COVID or anything, but I can't really go anywhere around a lot of people. I like the mall, go to the mall. It's like I'm suck in all this negative energy or something. I'm not sure. And I've always had that where I'm a person that when I was younger, I loved a good party or a good wedding or whatever it was.
sure.
Always had a good time. But then later on in my life, much more sequestered. In fact, I lived in Texas for a while, and I had a lot of judgment living around me. And so I didn't interact much with my neighbors because they didn't. I didn't tell them what I did or but sometimes my mail would get in their mailbox. And I remember one person coming to my door, knocking on my door, and I had a magazine come in, the New Age magazine that you could buy things in, and
Yeah.
they threw it at me because,
Oh.
yeah. So I just kind of kept to myself. and actually even went to get my first master's degree, believe it or not, at a Baptist university. That's where the Buddhism class was, though, because if it was a master's degree, they couldn't say that you couldn't learn about it. So that was interesting.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah,
That's,
I know.
my mom always said that you can learn something from anything. There's always a lesson.
There is. I agree.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Starlight Tarot says, did you feel different too, like an outsider having an old soul?
Yep. I agree with you, Juanita. I was made to be an outsider, I think. And the difference between me and other people was that, you know how they say who you associate with must be who you are, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I used to say, no, that's not true. I said, at the time when I was in high school, I said, I'm friends with cheerleaders and I'm friends with marijuana smokers and drinkers, but that doesn't mean I do those things. And so, yeah, I was on the outside fringes, and yet I had some really, really wonderful relationships during that time period as well. We made our own little niche, and when I was in college, it was wonderful. I had the best time when I went to college. I got away from that small town mentality and was able to blossom a lot more. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like sometimes as empaths, we have to keep everybody a little bit separated, right?
I know. Yes. Especially at Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah. That's fun. So what about, like, what brought you to your psychic abilities or your spirituality? How did that come about?
So back in the day, let me put it this way. I graduated from high school in 1973. So I am going to be 68 years old. So I'm no spring chicken. But at that time, I would go to the bookstore that was close by my house, and it had all kinds of books, but absolutely nothing except for astrology. So I said, all right, I'll start here. So I started with astrology. And then I found the Edgar Cayce material, which I felt was very important for me. And I also was interested in working with spirit guides and was able to access the spirit guides. But it really wasn't until the 90s where everything sort of came together. And I belonged to a wonderful group. I lived in Florida at the time. And we learned all about Native American spirituality, which I still feel a very close bond with, even though I'm not Native American. It was near, also there's UFO activity in that area. Yes, Craig is great. He's wonderful. Yes, yes, they are judgmental. And then we also did some work with psychic work, and I had a dream class. That's why I like doing the dream show that I do. And it was just, we went to a powwow. We did all kinds of things together. And then my ex-husband got transferred to Houston after that. We were only there a year, but I felt like it really opened me right up. It really did, because my mother had passed in 88, and this was about 92 to 93, where all this other stuff started coming in. And then life got in the way again. I went to college and did this and did that. And I thought, I don't know where to put myself. I know a lot of stuff. I know a little bit of stuff about a lot of things. That's what it is. It's like, yeah, I know. And I love that, except when it comes to pigeonholing yourself, by saying I'm a psychic or I'm a reader. I didn't read cards. I had cards, but I never read cards until I came here and had been here about a year. So, yeah. Now I feel comfortable with them, but I like the oracles. I like the oracle cards.
I feel the same. I feel like the oracle cards are my friend because I could read them.
Yep.
Intuit them. And I love the tarot cards, but it doesn't stick in my brain very often.
I
So,
I will see somebody pull them that's reading with me, and I will really understand what they're saying about them and everything. It's the court cards mostly. I can understand the major arcana, but
right.
the court cards throw me off. So that I just think, I don't want to have to complicate things. I'll just stick with my oracle cards. It just
Yeah.
makes it easier. Yeah.
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 Those are
Yeah.
fun. And
Uh-huh.
so you do dream interpretation too. I love dream interpretation. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And currently I'm teaching a class with the community. I teach a college level humanities. That's the closest thing I could get to, and English, but that's the closest thing I could get to spirituality. And now, though, I've started teaching a spirituality class at the community college, and I've got about 7 ladies that come on Zoom. And we started a couple of weeks ago. We're going to meet again this week. And I'm sort of branching out in different ways, and I'm enjoying that. I very much am. Yeah.
How fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any books that you would recommend to people? Like, what are your favorite books?
As far as spirituality,
Yeah.
those kinds of books. Okay.
Anytime.
Yeah. Anything by Michael Newton.
Mhm.
He's the Journey Between Souls, I think, and Journey to Destiny, something like that. I love Dolores Cannon. I've read mostly all of her books. She's fabulous. Matter of fact, read her books. One of the books I read back in the 90s was Jesus and the Essenes. And I don't know, I picked it up. It just sounded really interesting to me. And I read it, and it was fabulous. It was so good. And I had a Akashic record reading last year with the Akashic record guy. And he told me I was in a scene. He didn't even know about it. Yeah.
That's
So it was kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah. It was, yeah.
That's fun. Well,
Uh-huh.
so what do you do to relax?
Oh, I just love sitting in my bed and journaling. I do that a lot. I have been journaling nonstop since 2017, but I've always written prior to that. And I used to enjoy walking. I was walking up to 7 miles a day, but then my feet started to bother me from too much walking, so I couldn't do it. But just hang out with my little dogs and I read, or maybe watch a movie or something. But yeah, but I love journaling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's probably my favorite time of the day. I do a little meditation in bed usually and have coffee in bed and write.
I found a meme that said something like, if I had my way, losing weight in bed would be a great thing since I spend so much time there or whatever. But it's my cozy spot. I like naps, and I like all that. So
Yeah. That's fun. I love that.
uh-huh. Yeah.
And then, so how did you find Buddhism? Was that, I know at the college level, but also like, what about that attracts you?
I like it because it pretty much tells you what other philosophies tell you, but in the way that it tells you, one of the first is life is suffering. And some people would say, well, that's pretty negative. And I think of myself as, once you can get over the fact that life is suffering, then when you're not suffering, you can really enjoy life. Because it's going to happen anyway, whether you understand that or not. And I love some of the other things. I was telling one of the gals on the other show that I was on the other day that I have a mouse in my house because I live in the country,
Sure.
and I want to get rid of it isn't one I choose to have in my house. And so I'm doing everything I can, but I'm not, and I don't have a cat. So everything was fine until the mouse fell into my toilet when I got up in the middle of the night to pee. There it is, swimming in my toilet.
Oh,
It's very small. It's not a rat. I mean, it's a mouse. It's about the size of a turd,
Oh, they're cute. They are.
They're cute.
Yeah,
They're cute, but so I flushed the toilet. I've done it before with a dead one in there, because there has been a dead one in there before. And I know that it will go down, but it was my Buddhist feelings. Like, I'm not supposed to kill anything. I'm not any sentient beings. That's why I don't eat cows. And, I just, yeah. So that was difficult for me. And I've forgiven myself because, I guess there's no concept of sin necessarily, but we are hardest on ourselves.
We
So,
are. We
yeah,
are. There's that, that's what I'm really working with this year is that guilt and shame that we take on so
good,
easily.
good.
Yeah.
Because it gets stuck in those chakras, and that's where we have a problem. We really do. For me, it was a guilt, and for my husband, it was shame. And so I loaded him up with orange stones, and we talk about, clearing out the chakras. And for me, it's the gut. Always have had this gut, this yellow, and I hated yellow. And look what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing yellow. But I just had to come to terms that it was whatever that guilt thing was, I had to get rid of it because it was really hurting me. It was.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes empaths take on a lot of that.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy being human.
It's not, especially when you want to save the world, is it?
No, I know. We have to live in this 3D world, and all of us would prefer living in something much, much higher, Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
Oh,
Craig says, heart-centered hero. He became a Catholic, but not for Jesus reasons. It was because the girls at school, I liked them.
Greg is quite the guy. He's a riot, and I'm sure it was fun. But if you were Catholic, then you could go to the Catholic school where the girls were. So there you go.
all my Baptist friends wanted to be Catholic because
did they? Yeah.
We had drinking, we had it all.
Sure, but I was always mad because every Friday tuna fish every single Friday for many years until they finally decided cheese pizza was okay.
Yeah.
Or a grilled cheese sandwich. But it was like, why do I have to suffer because the Catholics can't eat meat on Friday?
Right? Yeah.
Kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Spirit Tribe talks with Deborah. Asks,
Deborah.
Starting to work with higher energies, how do you keep from being so fatigued? That's a great question.
It is a great question. It's all about balance. I think for myself, it's the grounding that makes the difference. If I'm able to, because, you want to have that balance between up here with higher energies and also staying connected to the earth. And so when I have that, I will take the time to go walk barefoot outside in the grass. Of course, you can't do that in the winter. But even if you go outside in the wintertime and it's nice and crisp out and you've got your shoes on and you're taking in that ambience, that brings me sort of back into where I am. But yeah, you can be fatigued, and you need to take the time and the space, not to overdo it. That's the hardest thing, because we want this all to come now. And, I'll never forget, I've been waiting to see my spirit guides all my whole life. I want to see them. And so I took some Reiki classes. I heard Reiki was really good for your energies. One night I got up to pee again in the middle of the night. I'm in the bathroom, and there's all my angels, guides, all in the bathroom. And I said, well, thank you all for being here, but couldn't you have picked a better place? But it was 3 a.m. And so that's that time period where, they make themselves known. That's happened to you, Annie? Oh, God. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
The bathroom is a very intimate place, and I'm sorry, but I kind of feel the same way with you. I feel like, Allie, that's a place where a lot of stuff comes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in the shower sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. And it's like they want to say to us, get over it.
Yeah.
We've seen more than what you've got to show us. It's no big deal.
Oh.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Deborah says she was gifted with purple flame. Been trying to learn it, but it wipes her out.
Wow, that's beautiful. Aren't you lucky? Saint Germain from Saint Germain? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. See if he'll work with you with the purple flame while you're asleep. So you can ask him, say, I know that I can accelerate probably by working in an awakened state, but there's a lot of dead air, a lot of dead time in the middle of the night. So maybe you could work with me then and, offer me what you've got to offer me in the form of a dream or a vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So Starlight asks, what is purple flame? What is the purple flame?
You can answer.
Okay. I'm not
Yeah.
very good with the purple flame. As I
Okay.
understand it, it's the space of higher consciousness where all healing and I think manifestation too takes place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that part of you, that level that you can get to in super consciousness where
Absolutely.
everything is possible.
That's right. And you're working with an ascended master. And that there's a lot of acceleration and a lot of growth that comes when you can do that. And Saint Germain has just he's got lovely energy, but he picks you. You don't pick him. It's very interesting. And he comes in with, is it Metatron? He comes in with one of the archangels. Maybe it's Michael. I'm not sure, but he comes in and like a backup plan, But it was funny when we talked about it. It was like, don't call me, I'll call you. Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Oh, Jezreel. What should I do to get my vibration up with COVID?
Ooh, do you have it now, Jess? Wow. God, this just intuiting. I don't know. You're working with something that's sort of attacking you in a lot of ways. So I would say, certainly hydrating, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe bubbles of protection. Maybe you could do that. You could say, I realize my body is combating this virus. However, I would like to keep my vibration up and maybe do some meditation. I don't know. What do you think, Teri? What do you think?
Yeah, I think all those are excellent ideas. I know when I had COVID or C the first time, it was I did a lot of breathing exercises and a lot of tea, a lot of there's this Ayurvedic tea that you can make. It's fennel and coriander and cumin, and then you have it with lemon and honey and ginger.
Ooh, that sounds good. You can get somebody to go out and get it for you or deliver it with Amazon, I guess.
Yeah, you can get it through Amazon. You can get it.
Yeah.
It's cheaper actually to buy all the seeds and mix it yourself. So when I do, I buy it in bulk. But Deborah says green juice is great. So that sounds I think green juice.
Anything green. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, because that definitely is a healing color. Wow.
Yeah.
Sending you lots of love, Jess. I hope you feel better soon. Some people have it really, really bad. Heather had it really bad. Indigo Jaguar. She was out for like 3 weeks, something like that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I don't think that we don't want to be over judicious about watching out for that anymore because we'd like it to be gone. I think we need to be a little bit more judicious though. We need to maybe mask when we go into the grocery store. I do. I don't really care what anybody thinks. I just think they go, oh, that old lady doesn't want to catch this.
Yeah. So it's weird, isn't it? There's so many people out there now and it's like, I didn't think about going to not the grocery store necessarily. I get a lot of stuff delivered, but also like going to the movies.
Oh yeah, I won't do it. I'd rather watch it at home anyway. But I'm actually going down to Sedona next month to go to Linda G's. She's having a retreat down there with several others, and they make you wear a mask there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're a totally masked place still. So yeah. Oh goodness, nice. I'm sorry you got it.
Oh, Jezreel, you got the rebound, honey. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sorry too. Well, I hope it comes and goes really quickly for you, dear. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a drag.
it
Um,
is.
yeah, it really is. So, um, what about manifesting? Like, what do you feel like that's like for you?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was reading last night in a book, actually by Wayne Dyer. I have a book club that
Yeah.
meets once a month, and we're reading a Wayne Dyer book, and it's very good. But he had a affirmation in there, and after I've seen Esther Hicks several times in person, and she's
Wow.
fabulous. She's very, very good, and I know everybody knows that, but he had in there something that was, I don't want this to happen, or everything. It was everything um, always works. It wasn't always works in my favor. It was everything. It had a negative. It had a do not or a negative in it. And I immediately said, no, you can't say that because the universe doesn't hear that. They hear you don't want something, because you have to be so careful with how you word something. The other thing is, I've been in a situation where I've asked for things and they have manifested exactly as I asked for them, but not what I wanted. Um, and I'll give you an example. This one was my husband and I. He wanted a job where he could work from home, and he's a chiropractor, so he wanted a home office. Instead, we weren't able to afford to buy one, so we ended up working for Public Storage, and we had an apartment in the building.
Oh,
And we got a job, and we worked from home because we had, 5 foot walk to the office, but that really wasn't what we wanted, but it was what we asked for. So
yeah.
you got to be really careful when you manifest. You got to really make sure you're asking positively. And the other thing is, if it doesn't happen, it might not be for the highest good for you or others. It just might not be. And so don't look at it as, that you didn't get that fulfilled. Look that maybe you dodged a bullet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
are you into doing the I ams, like I am the universe or I am?
Yep. My favorite one, I am enough.
Oh,
That's the
I'm
one
gonna
I like
write
the
that
best. Yeah.
down, Kelly. I
Yeah.
like that. I
I
haven't done.
have it actually on a ring, and I have it on, I think it's a necklace. And it just reminds me all the time, that it doesn't matter what anybody else says. I am enough. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Annie
Yeah.
says you play it safe by having an attitude of gratitude.
There you go.
I
There you
like
go.
that.
Starlight, you're a riot. Oh my God. She asked for a guy who opens a door for me, and his car door was broken. See how careful you have to be. Yeah.
Oh, so he had to
So
open it
if
each
you open it every
time.
Sure he did. Sure he did. He had to go around to the outside to get it opened. Oh my God. That's
Oh,
priceless. That's great. I love that. Thank
that
you.
is funny. That is awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, I love Wayne Dyer. I got to see him once at Unity, our Unity temple here, and
Yep.
they bring in a lot of
Right.
good.
You're right in that area. I love what Unity does, and I also love what Science of Mind does, because they have teachings from all the different disciplines,
Yeah,
and I just love that. I've gone there many times. Yeah.
yeah,
But I'm not the organized religion type of a person. But
yeah,
if you asked me to go to one of those, I would go because I like the way they do it. Yeah.
yeah. I feel the same. I feel like I just kind of grew out of that organized religion. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's like you don't have to go to this building and to talk to God. You can talk to God. I think the best place to talk to him is outside,
yeah.
because
Or in bed.
or there you go. Oh, that's great, Callie
Um,
Healer.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love
Beautiful.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one of mine that I'm using right now. I am worthy.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Yeah.
Um, well, so let's see. I'm looking at my other books that I. Okay. What brings you joy?
this, I guess, really, honestly. Wouldn't do. I always said that what brought me joy prior to coming here was teaching, and being a professor, and that's been my 24-year trip of joy. Honestly,
Wow.
I'm still doing it. It's not so joyful to me anymore, although I still do it. It's not my. This is my joy now, and I can do that if I can do this. So this isn't work. This is what my brother used to call plurk, where you play and work at the same time.
I'm going to write that down too.
P-L-E-R-K. Yeah, he used to say, "Let's plurk." Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, yeah. That's sweet, Starlight. Helping people and learning new
Yeah.
things, right?
And in that book, it says, everybody wants to know what their purpose is, what their purpose is, what their purpose is. Start by thinking that your purpose is to serve others. And if you serve one person, you know what I mean? I don't mean to bend over and, go take one for the team or anything, but it's doing something for people out of the kindness of your heart, out of your loving heart, and doing it because you love to do it and trying to bring a little joy to people. So, you can find whatever else you want to do, but if you start there, whatever it is will unfold. If you're looking for it, it will come to you. It really will.
That's beautiful. I love that, Allie. That's
Thank you.
lovely. Is that like part of Taoism, or would you say that that's?
It is. And I love Taoism. I'm what I call a Heinz 57 person because I like Taoism, Native American spirituality, Buddhism, and even some Hinduism. I find very fascinating. And I'm not against Christianity. It's just that I would like people to treat others like they wish to be treated. And I think we've lost some of that somewhere, and maybe not everywhere. But Taoism is just beautiful. It's always, if you can do the I Ching. Have you ever used the I Ching? Have you ever?
I haven't.
No? Okay.
No.
It's really fun. It's less out there like cards. Cards, you kind of get the idea where you're going with it. The I Ching is sort of a parable. And so you have to think about what you want to get out of it or what you want to take from it. But it's always been dead on for me every time I've tried it. It's very interesting.
Wow. And is it, okay, do you throw it or?
Yeah, there used to be yarrow sticks that they would throw, and they would come up with different configurations, but now that's kind of, so you get these coins and you're tossing them and you get like positive or negative. And there's actually, you can even get a I Ching book that has the little coins with it.
Uh-huh.
They're more like the Bagua coins that you would have if you were doing feng shui, but they're little. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you throw them a certain amount of time and you take down the configurations, and then you go to the book and there's a number there and you read what that is. And if there's changes between the first and second line and third and fourth line, then you turn it around. It explains it all. It's not really that hard, but it's just a lot of people don't try it or even know about it. So I'm going to write in here, it's I and then Ching, and it's the Chinese book of changes is what it is.
I'm going to look for that. My daughter was volunteering in Nepal in Thailand. Yeah. So I was able to go over and visit, and she was teaching the little monks at the monastery English. And it was such a beautiful place. And I brought offerings, and I brought some money because they'd been so kind to my daughter. But I also brought like a couple of rolls of dimes. Everybody wanted the dime.
Did they really? That's cool. Yeah, something different.
Yeah, I think coins are abundance or something.
Yes.
But it was. I think they all put them on their altars or something. But everybody got really excited about that. And I was like, well, I should be more excited about coins too. So now I have a pile of coins on my altar.
Yeah. Yep.
For
Put, you know,
prosperity.
put what do you want there. You can even put your affirmations there. You can put a card a day there. You could, you know, I'm just saying this to everybody. You can you can light a candle there. You can, whatever it is, just a little area. It's such a great thing to have this beautiful little altar space that you
Yeah.
can just, yeah, show gratitude. Yeah.
Do you put your ancestors on your altar?
I did in the past, but
Yeah.
having moved so many times, I've got mom and dad sort of in the out there, and they have their own special place with a poem right beside it because they've been gone a long time. And I had some older pictures of my mother's family that was given to me, and they're fascinating pictures because they were done, you know, back in 1910 or something like that, and just awesome, beautiful in these beveled frames. But yeah, I
Wow.
haven't got them out yet. Yeah,
How
yeah.
beautiful. That sounds
Uh-huh.
gorgeous. Oh, Annie Bear says, let's see.
Oh, Mark.
I
Yeah,
love him.
isn't he wonderful? He really is. I'm a money magnet. He's attracted to me. That's right. Or any form of abundance, and but not including fat on my body, please.
Right?
Yeah, yeah,
Don't need
yeah.
any more of that.
No more of that.
Right. So, yeah. So, I'm taking this class too on changing your brain and your,
Oh, neuroplasticity. Are you
yes,
learning
thank you,
about that?
neuroplasticity.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And, and we're learning about that. And when we're doing our IMs or affirmations or declarations, to sing it or dance it, or when you bring
Yeah.
in that energy that you learn it like 100 times faster or something crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've made a connection. You've made a very big connection there. I remember reading when I was doing a big Joseph Campbell person. So I read a lot of his stuff. And of course, he always tells us to follow our bliss. But he explained, I am that. And in the Bible, apparently, there's who are you is asked of God. And he said, I am that I am. And then it was like in Latin, Tavatas Tam or something like that. And Campbell said, always, whatever you put I am in front of is what you're manifesting. So don't say you're poor. Don't say you're sad. Don't say you're sick. Don't do anything. I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have I have a shaman that I meet with on a regular basis, George, Reverend George, and he's always saying, "Be careful of your index fingers. Don't point them anywhere, not at yourself." Oh, and I'm pointing at myself. Don't point them at
Yeah.
yourself, or certainly not at anyone else.
Or this. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 like that. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. I am loved. That's beautiful, Starlight. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gorgeous. Let's see. And I'm trying to read I've got all these little 3x5s here of
Yeah,
questions.
you're doing well. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. I don't know. I feel like, you've got so much to offer, and I just want to make sure that,
Oh, you're sweet.
no, it's true. It's true. And how do you relax? How do you let loose?
In more recent days, I don't want to say I have this. Let's see. How do I say this? Fibromyalgia has made an appearance in my life.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, and some days it's fine. I mean, most of the time it's fine, but I have a hot tub, and that's where I go if I need to. And it's my savior. It really is. And I don't tend to use it for anything more than that. I mean, I'll get in there and enjoy it, but I just decided that, if I had to put up with different things that come through, different issues, that I needed to have something to combat it with. And I'm not one that likes to smoke pot or, some of the chewables are okay, I guess, but I just feel like the hot water takes care of the deep-seated pain. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a hot tub too, Allie. And
Oh, don't you love it?
I told you we have the same energy. So
Uh-huh.
I am and I don't use it every night or anything like that. I really
No,
don't use it
neither. Yeah.
that cold out, but that's my favorite thing to do is just lay in it and float and just stare
Yep.
at the sky.
Oh, yes.
It's
It's so
so
wonderful.
relaxing.
It is. It is.
And I get a
Yeah.
lot of messages. Do you?
I actually, yes, I find, and it's that water thing again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of really clear messages, mostly from my family, actually. Some sort of tapping on the shoulder. Don't
Yeah.
forget about this, Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I love that. The water is just for surrendering. It's just so beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, and the hot tub, it's I didn't know that it would be that nice. I kind of got it for my kids because I thought they'd really enjoy it, but it's my savior. I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Well,
is if you can afford it. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is. Yeah.
Great, Craig. I'm glad you have one too. Good for you.
Oh, Greg has a sauna. I'm jealous. Wow.
Oh, Craig, we're coming down to visit.
Right. And those fancy cars you talk about too, Craig. That would be fun.
Uh-huh.
Aw, yeah. Well, and then is there anything else you want us to know? Like knowing our hearts, how do we do that? Is there any advice that you can give us?
Knowing our hearts. Um, yeah. Sometimes I believe that we don't trust ourselves enough. There's a lot of people that give over to their hearts over their heads or their heads over their hearts. We've spent so much time in mind. And I think the reason I gravitate so much with the Eastern philosophies is because they have a very totally different way of viewing the world. We are go, 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 and money, 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 and competition, and their flow and bend in the wind. and, and I think to myself, I'm a Libra as well, so I like to balance my life. I like it to be balanced. It's not always available for me to balance, but that's when I found out so much about the way the Eastern people lived. I thought to myself, I got to know more about this because they outlive us as well. They eat better, they do things better. Then they don't worry about stuff as much as we do. Because when we worry, it does affect our hearts. I really believe that that's why my mom died when she did. She was only my age when she died, which was 35 years ago.
Oh,
And she just was a worry wart. She worried about everybody else and what they said and what they did. And so if there's anything that I can admonish to anybody here, it's worrying is paying a debt for something you don't owe. So try to get in the boat and float, let it flow, let it come to you, try to release it. And that's not easy to do. I know it isn't, but it's possible. So
that's
yeah.
beautiful. That's our new t-shirt right there. Oh, well, thank you so much. Do you want to throw a few cards? Does anybody have any
Sure.
questions? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Annie Bear, I'm going to answer you here. What new thing am I learning about? I'm working right now on bringing together spirituality and academia. And I'm working with Ann Simpson, and we had our first show, and it's called Two Spiritual Academics. So I'm just bringing those two sides together and working on that right now. And I'm loving it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, how fun. Have you read anything by Jean Houston?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
she and Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I love her work. Women Who Run with Wolves.
Oh, yes, I do know her.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Some real beautiful women out there. Jean Houston, and there's several others. Carolyn Mace, MYSS. I like her. I've been to see her as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get that energy from you, that Jean Houston energy.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I'd love to see her in person.
I
She,
would too.
I've seen Barbara Handclough. She came to Seattle, and she does a lot with the dimensional work, where she talks about the 9 dimensions, and that was an interesting. I try to go, but I can't afford to spend a lot of money, so I pick and choose depending on the smaller venues. And actually, it isn't that much money to go see. What's her name that I just talked about? Esther Hicks. It
Really?
wasn't that much money to go. No, it was like, I think it was about maybe $100, and it's all day. It's 8 hours or so, and
That's doable.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
it's doable. It's not like it, I was looking at John Edward, who I'd love to do a reading for me, and it's $850 for a reading or something, and he deserves it. I don't think it's, but it's just out of my league.
Yeah. I hear you. I got really into Deepak after my husband passed, and that was so healing, and I loved it. And he's on free every day, just about, on Facebook and everything.
Yep.
So you can get a lot, but I love going out there and seeing him in person.
Oh, I know. There's just something about it, being able to. And I have seen John Edward in person. I was in the front row, but he passed over me. He passed over me. And so it was at a bookstore. So it was a very small venue, no cost. And we just had to buy his book. I said, I can do that. I like his work,
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes I think that spirit knows you have another way of getting the message. And so you don't really need to be read by this guy. Other people have to be read,
Yeah.
So you kind of passed over because you have. It happened to me with Daniel Brinkley, actually. Back in 95, I was at Whole Life Expo in Santa Fe, and my kids were with me, and they were younger, and we had driven over from Houston at the time into Santa Fe, and we're sitting there, and he comes up to the stage, and he looks at us, and he said, "You 3 have come a long, long way together." And we said, "Yeah, we drove from Houston." He said, "No, I don't mean that."
Oops. I'm sorry. I just
It's okay.
I'm still not very good at this. Okay, put that one up, and then we're gonna get
Okay.
Please.
Do you know about the stars? You can star them.
I'm trying to do it.
Okay.
That was me doing that, Allie.
Okay, no worries. Everybody's got to learn, and yep.
Yeah. Kali Healer says, I feel that keeping my prices low is doing a service. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Very true. It is, Kelly Healer. I when I do readings for people, if they ask me, I don't tend to get a lot of people asking me, but we do it on Zoom, and I just ask for a donation, and that can be whatever you can afford. $5. That's all you can afford. I want people to be able to have what they need, and not worry, because I've been there. I've been in that situation. So
right.
Oh yes, Tuda Speaks. You need to talk to Tuda Speaks.
Yeah, I have an email into her. I love her.
There you go. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, she is amazing. She really is. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So let's see. Starlight. I pulled some fractal cards, and the first thing I get is change of mind. And I'm thinking that you are waiting for something, but maybe you need to change your mind, because it's going to come when it wants to, and you can't push it. You can't make it come any faster than it's going to. Or maybe you're going to change your mind about what area you're most interested in pursuing. So very interesting picture, and lovely green, and a lot of green healing heart energy there for you. The next one I get is recognition. Perhaps you're wanting them to show up so that you can recognize they're around you. You want them to make it known that they are surrounding you and loving you. Let it go. Let it go. I also see you have a cat around you, my dear. Do you have maybe a cat on the other side? Because it's feline. Unless it's a woman who is slinky like a cat. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, yes. Tell your stories. Tell your stories, just like you did in the chat. You told us about asking for the guy to come into your life that would hold the door for you. We are story people, and we are storytellers. Tell your story, honey. Tell your story. Look at that. The owl is there to help.
That is so beautiful. I love that. Well, are you finished or?
I am done.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get divine animals for you, Starlight. So funny that you should talk about the owl and the cat.
Yeah. She loves cats. Yeah.
Yeah. So spirit animals coming forward. So, and I think that is somebody on the other side coming forward for you that, you see Durga Ma on top of the lion or the tiger, whichever one she decides on, and walking in your strength. So, and then I drew a loved one in heaven. So you have somebody there with a message for you. Thank you, loved ones in heaven, for drawing close at this time. So you want to talk to your guides and your ancestors before you go to bed and ask them what you want, or tell them what you want, because it's an honor to serve. Clear your eyes, Archangel Metatron. So thank you, Metatron, for clearing my energy field. He's beautiful in his prayers.
He is.
And then I get move your body, dance, girlfriend. So even if you can't do it physically,
I like to dance in the car, don't you? I mean, I dance to the music.
I can chair dance, no problem. I'm a chair dancer. Yeah, even if I'm in a club or something, listening to loud music.
Yeah. Get into it.
Yeah, he is a heavy hitter, Annie Bear, definitely. That's beautiful, though, Starlight. I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Juanita.
See. I'm going to show that one. Oh, that's one we just did. You'll get it by tomorrow or next year.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, what am I being led to do? That is a beautiful question, Deborah.
It is. Now we can, and as you know, because you are you have the gifts. You have the gifts, Deborah. So what we say is potentiality, but what you feel and what is the most important. So we could say you're being led to, I don't know, crystals or rocks or something like that. And that just doesn't do it for you. You may not feel comfortable with that. So, maybe you'll find something else that will really resonate with you, but let's see what we come up with here. Oh. Oh, wow. I have a pretty clear answer here. That's amazing.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Ready. Yeah.
So the first card I pulled was Explorer. They want you to, you're either just been doing all kinds of exploring. Look at this. She's got the undersea diver helmet, and she's got a butterfly on her shoulder, and she's got her compass. And my favorite thing, she's got her red shoes from Oz, And so it's telling you that you are the explorer and you're the one who knows the most, but you've been tapping in and doing, looking at in this and looking at that, kind of like Teri and I have done. We a little bit of this and a little bit of that because it's so interesting. And you have been communing, and your guides have been communing with you and your angels. They're all of these are trees, but it almost looks like they're coming down from heaven, not going up. They look more like they're coming down. So you are in communication with them, whether you realize it or not. And I'm guessing you already know that. And I get the dreamer. So I think also that they're communicating to you in dreams. And that they know that you want to make a difference and you want to know where you're going. And I'm seeing that a very big opportunity is coming your way. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Wow.
And wait till you see what it is. Shaman.
Ooh. Yeah.
And there behind it is the Merkaba. And that's the sign of Metatron and higher wisdom. But if you're drawn to this, you do not have to be a Native American to be a shaman. You're just a different type of shaman. That's all. Oh, but maybe you are Native American. I don't know. But I think using these, using your skills in that way, learn a little bit more about the medicine and how the medicine works, if you know what I mean, the Native American medicine. Because I think a shaman is something you could be, dear. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Wow.
love that. I was kind of getting that energy too with those chords.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of chords. So here's the temple. Um, and where you find your soul name, finding your space, finding your divine light inside your temple. Um, Archangel Azrael. So I'm pulling him in for you also. So and that's part of a shaman's duties too, don't you think, Ali? To help
Yes.
someone when they're passing. I mean, that's one of the
Definitely.
beautiful
Yep.
things you can do, I think, is to
Yep.
help them as they leave and lead them.
Along the blue road. Yeah.
Yeah,
Along the blue road.
with the
Yeah.
Divine Father. So, and I love that uh, that has a real shaman look to it, doesn't it?
It does, and it has the Merkaba in it too.
It's a
And so that seems to be, yeah.
yeah,
And actually, isn't that what we talked about in Judaism? I mean, the Merkaba comes up like the Kabbalah, I believe. It has all that.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the Divine Father. So you're getting a lot of that heavy energy in there, and express your creativity. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Sing it. Dance it. I mean, there's all different ways to do it, but find your own particular way to do it. What brings you happiness and joy and light, because that's the
Yep.
most important thing that you're being led to is to express yourself. As who was that? Aretha Franklin used to say.
Yeah. Dancing in the chair. Yeah.
Definitely, I love that. That's beautiful. Let's see. I think I saw one more. You guys can repost it if not, because I'm not.
Oh, I can tell you what I just go to the star. Tina Marie wants to know if we have any messages from. There it is, honey. Yeah. All right. All right. Tina Marie, how pretty.
Wasn't there a Tina Marie, an actress or a movie star or something? It was on Gilligan's Island.
Yes.
Marie?
Was that her name?
I think
Tina.
so. Was that Ginger or Glenda?
Yes. Craig, are you still here? You know who it is. He knows everything about stuff like that. Yeah. She was the movie star, right? She was.
Yeah, she was the movie star.
Yeah.
And when people asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I said I want to be Ginger.
I love that. I wanted to be Julie Andrews. I love Julie Andrews, so I wanted to be her.
I love her singing. Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. She is a beautiful lady. Tina Marie Presley.
Oh, maybe that was it. Tina Marie Presley. Huh.
Really?
Tina Louise on Gilligan's Island. Thank
Tina
you.
Louise. Oh, Craig, I knew you'd know. I wonder why. Thank you, dear. Tina Louise. And Dawn Wells was the other one. She was
you're good.
Yeah. But can you believe how long they went on a 1 hour tour or 3 hour tour, and we're still watching them 50 years later. Lisa Marie Presley. Yeah. Lisa Marie. Okay. Yeah.
Lisa Marie Presley. Yeah.
It's sad that she passed so young, just like her dad. Sad. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, this is kind of fun. All right. So,
ready. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead because guess first.
You go. No, you go. All right. So, Sunshine Girl is what I get, Tina Marie. You're the Sunshine Girl, and the sun is starting to shine. And look at your outside amongst all the beautiful flowers. And you are just, what a beautiful card. It's like you are the Sunshine Girl. Yes. And you are rising. Look at this. It really is funny because has a balloon and she's rising up between two buildings. But I would consider one of those buildings to be the earth plane and one of them to be more like heaven. And so you're balancing, you're bringing yourself up and rising up into the fifth dimension. And sometimes we have to live in the third dimensional world, which really rots, but you're coming up, you're rising up. So just trust that you will find a way if you are confused about anything, because even though you're with someone here on the, there's a lot above you that are watching over you and bringing you lots of love. So trust the journey, and the journey brings you so much growth. Enjoy the growth. Enjoy each and every different flower, because every flower has its beauty. So everything that you learn is in preparation for where you're going to go and how you're going to live.
That's beautiful. Okay. I get, Tina Marie, that you're very sensitive. You have this sensitivity, and it's blossoming right now, just like you were saying, Allie. And blossoming. You're finding love in your heart. So soul love. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Soul love. So see as that comes in.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and that's just like that blossom, that sensitivity that starts and then boom. It's like quantum physics, right?
Yeah.
Move, and your soul family. So I'm kind of connecting with this, that you're probably getting a new guide in, or new guides. So from your guides and family members. So as you are on your path, sometimes you'll get a new guide for certain things that you need to learn as you moving on up, right? So, so
moving on up.
Big time.
That's that rising with the balloon. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I get this one again, a loved one in heaven. So, boy, we're getting that a lot today. So you get that loved one in heaven that comes in and tells you how much they love you, and just know that they're there with you. I'm getting a real feminine energy with that, like a mother or a grandmother, perhaps, but somebody that holds you. So, and know that love is there for you.
Wonderful, Tina. Continue your walk, and know that you're on the right path. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's it, unless I missed somebody.
I don't think you did. I've been looking too. No, I think she just posted, so I think we're all done. Yeah.
All right. Well, Allie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It was such a joy to have you here, and thank you everybody else for being here, and all the moderators.
Absolutely.
For all your hard work. All right.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Thank you so much, Teri. I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Allie. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.